Once upon a time, the palace of the gods fell from the heavens. Long ago, the Xianzhou was leading a campaign against a certain species of the denizens of abundance, called the Viscorpus, gelatinous parasites capable of latching onto their target and creating hallucinations. The Xianzhou had a very tough time dealing with them, especially the Xianzhou Dayu and Yuan Chao. After losing many people to the relentless attacks of the Viscorpus, the leader of the Dayu, Qingzu, made the courageous and incredibly hard decision to sacrifice the entire ship and its people to end the conflict then and there. In a display of true and pure dedication to the great cause of the hunt, the Dayu exploded in a blaze of fire, taking out the Viscorpus at a cost of her own people. On the water planet Insumousu, first a giant shadow appeared, after which an enormous, majestic burning castle began to fall towards the seas. As the people of Insumousu saw the palace slowly descending towards them, some fled in panic, while others just waited and see what would happen. The oceans of Insumousu were big, but nobody knew if they were big enough to contain the entire falling palace. When the remains of the Dayu crashed into the center of the sea, the planet shook for 7 days straight from the impact. But luckily the ocean managed to swallow the entire palace whole. Back then, the people of Insumousu were still kind of primitive, and they mostly lived on the bottom of the sea. So with the great crash of the Dayu, their homes were completely destroyed. But they weren't sad for long, since they received the magnificent looking homes of the Xianzhou Dayu in return. When everything had calmed down a bit, the Insumousu natives finally had some time to think about what actually had happened. And with no one to answer their questions, they came to the conclusion that the magnificent ruins that had fallen from the sky came from the gods. So they named this great event the Divine Fall. After some time went by, the Insumousu natives started to develop their culture around the Divine Fall, and named the second day of rest in a month of tides Divine Fall Day, a day of worship where they consumed herbs, recited scriptures of old, and performed bizarre dances in honor of the fallen gods. Eventually, centuries went by, and as their civilization advanced, they eventually came into contact with the Xianzhou as trade partners. They learned the truth behind the Divine Fall and what had actually happened. After these revelations, the people decided that they wanted to follow in the footsteps of the Dayu, and they became important allies of the Xianzhou. In the past few hundred years, Insumousu has been sharing their rich and unique culture with the outside world, and the old traditions of Divine Fall Day have slowly been changing. The herbs have been replaced with snacks and delicacies, and the recitation of scriptures with songs. Only the bizarre dances are still the same as before, which is probably for the best. The cities on the landmass of Insumousu are mostly filled with young people who like to party extravagantly during Divine Fall Day, which of course attracts a lot of foreign visitors, especially Xianzhou tourists. But as the people grow older, they grow gills and webbing, better suited to underwater life, which is very handy for the latest tradition of Divine Fall Day. At some point during the night, everyone would suddenly stop partying, and the people on land would watch the shores as the adult natives sent star skiffs from the bottom of the sea to break through the water and sail into the skies. Each one of them inscribed with a message for the living as an homage to the fallen people of the Dayu. You should undo the ropes for the drowned sailor. Don't cry. You can sail safely after my demise. In the end, the people of Insumousu have come a long way since their ancestors saw the Dayu descend on their planet. Or as they would tell you, once upon a time, the palace of the gods fell from the heavens. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed it. Have a good one. Bye!